more global, affecting women from everywhere.
Well, when I was close to term, 6 weeks before I was due to give birth, and I had a real bad heartburn. And they told me it was just heartburn, and they kind of brushed it off. I was once I was due to give birth. I gave birth to my son May 5th. I ended up being in the hospital 2 weeks after having him. So from May 5th to I think it was the 21st, so about 3 weeks. And it was due to, well, for one, they just thought it was like my kidneys were infected. So they did that. And they also kept me on a medicine. It was a medicine that prevented heart attacks and strokes. But all throughout, I was still having heartburn. So it was maybe July. It was July 21st. I went to the doctor for the first time, and I explained to them I had this constant heartburn that wouldn't go away, and it was still there, like it didn't go away. And they gave me medicine and told me, to go easy on the saucy foods like spaghetti sauce or pizza, and it was like that might help the heartburn decrease. And so I did all the things they told me to do. August 1st, I went to the ER because I was having really bad chest pains, and it was like super duper bad. And I was just like, okay, maybe this is not heartburn, So it was this one nurse I had, and she was just starting out, and she pushed the issue for them to give me more tests. And August 1st, it was about 8 o'clock. I came. It was like seven doctors came in, and they were talking to me. They was like, well, do you know that your heart is enlarged and that your EF is 15 to 20%. And at this, I'm just looking crazy because all this is new to me. I've never heard that kind of stuff. Before that, I was not big on like hearts. That was not my thing because it was like the blood and I was not that kind of person. So, after they told me, I called up my parents. And my dad is big on health. Well, he's big on health for our sake. My mom is big on health. But for my dad, he had just lost my grandmother a year before due to her heart. So he was trying to stay up on a lot of things with us. And they ended up keeping me in the hospital for 7 days due to the fact that this was like new. And I didn't find out what it was until that second week when I went to see a cardiologist. And he explained to me that having my son stressed my heart out, or stressed my body, period, and my heart took a toll, the worst. So they put me on 8 medications that I had to take twice a day. So that was 16 pills in one day. He was a big help for me, my cardiologist, because it was just like I was 19 at the time. So being 19, taking all this medications, seeing a doctor every week at this point, it was kind of scary. But he explained to me that my EF was so low because, having my son. So once he finally told me what it was, he was like, well, it's pretty rare. We don't get a lot of patients like that, especially not young ones. So for the next few weeks, they had me wearing a life vest. And it was kind of took some time getting used to because I was a new mom. So, being a new mom and taking on this disease really put, a dent in things for me. I had wore a life vest 3 times from August the 7th when I got out the hospital the first time until mid-April. April 23rd, my doctor thought it was best that he go ahead and give me a defibrillator. He gave me a defibrillator, and I would see him every week after that just to make sure that things were still going the way that he wanted them to go. He was hoping that things changed for me because they say sometimes the recovery is 3 to 6 months, or it varies, is what he said. So he was hoping that I recover being so young, and I was such an active person. So I was just like, it would catch up with me. Sadly, I didn't recover. I haven't yet. Of course, it's November 2020, and I'm now going through the process to get a new heart. So, but yeah, and it's been, yeah. But it's been crazy. It's been wild, especially being 19 and taking on all of that. Being 22 and not being able to do some of the things my friends are doing because of this heart of mine. It's just like, okay, yeah, you can't do that. Take a pause. It's like, okay, I'll stand in the background. I'll watch.
Right.
It's definitely.
Story is amazing, and so with what is your heart function now? Since now that you have, okay, still 15 to 20, okay, yes, and it never increased at all.
And that's the thing, it did. It went from 20 to 25, and then it went back down to 15 to 20. And I just had an echo. I just had an echo 2 days ago, and that's what it was.
Wow. Well, we know that you're going to get through this, and we just, going to think positive, because we done seen so many positive heart sisters that bounce back, and even with a new heart, we going to get you there, But it's just such a, what can you say? Just it's like it's a bittersweet moment, bittersweet situation, because we happy to be here and to still be here, and thankful that we caught it on time. But then, yeah, a lot of people, like you said, won't understand on the restrictions that we have, or just the whole point of changing our lives around, and I still go through that to this day. And I know of me as coming up on my 4th heart anniversary, so I'm like, oh, it's like it got a little easier, but then it didn't really get easy, So it's a hard situation, but yes, I'm just so thankful that you're still around. And with how many? This happened with not your first pregnancy. Was it your first pregnancy?
It was my
first pregnancy. Wow. And that's the thing. I try to make sure that I'm researching and reading about PPCM. I try to look and see kind of more of what the women is talking about in the group about, the first. It's a lot of them that get it on the first time, and then it's a lot that get them after the second. But then we also have the ones that, later, after probably 3 or 4, they still develop it, and it's just insane. It's a dramatic situation, and I don't think nobody really, I won't say nobody, but many people don't take it serious, and because it don't happen often, it's like
because it's so rare.
Yeah, well, I feel like they call it rare because they don't diagnose the women correctly. I feel that is actually going through PPCM symptoms. Like now, I've been hearing a lot of women that have heart attacks. And of course, we got heart sisters that, went through the heart attack, and that's what led to their PPCM diagnosis in the first place. So it's like when you have a doctor that's not really up to date or even know what PPCM is, how could they diagnose the right condition? And putting PPCM in the category alone, a lot of women don't experience that. Well, that's because a lot of the doctors don't even know what it is, but a lot of people probably don't really think of it like that, but the fact that we have to go through it and how we have to deal with it to be able to try to find out the reasons and the causes, and trying to work so hard on being advocates, it's a struggle. It can be a struggle, emotional wise or mental wise. Has it changed you in any way on, just how you living life now, or how you want to?
Because I was definitely an outgoing person. I was all about adventure. Don't get me wrong, I'm all about my tiny humans now. So I spend a lot of time with them because I know it's a lot of things that I can't get out to do, being that, my heart is weak, or, you know, some days I'm not feeling it. And then you got some people that's just like, oh, well, you can get up and do this today. And it's just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not going to move today. Like, it's just one of those days. And I think it's good when you have advocates, like for yourself, like, because people don't understand that it's some days where it's just like, nah, not today, maybe next week. And people don't understand that. And it definitely has pushed my anxiety through the roof.
Yes, that is so true.
And it's, you know, I'd be scared to do some things because I'm just like, okay, maybe, you know, I do this thing this one time and then something happens. So it's just like, yeah, let's just not do it at all. Let's just not even think about doing it at all.
Yeah. And were you able to have another child after your PPCM, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I didn't know if you had one or two, because I know some of the women be having or have more. So I didn't know if he was in that bracket. And
yeah, he was. Well, my cardiologist explained it to me like this. When I went and seen him about 2 weeks ago, you know, we talked about the children part, and he was just like, if you go through that again, you know, you see how long it's taken for this to heal. He was like, just imagine next time, you know, next time it might not be a next time. So he definitely wants me to stay clear of that.
Yeah, my cardiologist, he recommended the same thing for me as well. And not only that, because of my sister's situation and how it was so close to me being, you know, in that actual exact situation. It's just scary. It's scary. And, you know, I try to be so strong because I want to be able to be, you know, a tough advocate, be able to just kind of get up and talk about the both the pros and the cons of dealing with the situation, you know, but it's a lot of, it's a lot of emotion involved as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about a traumatic event in my life, you know, and a lot of times it look easy trying to come out and talk about it, but people don't know the actual pain that you kind of have to put on pause to be able to open up and actually speak on it. You know, that's why I thank y'all so much for wanting to share y'all story, because it just shows so much strength, and that, you know, you're willing to advocate on telling your story to be able to maybe help educate a physician, or even spreading the awareness to a young mother who don't even know that it could happen to her, you know, just like the 16-year-olds we done had in the group, or like you said yourself, you was 19. And so that's like really important. A lot of, you know, young women, older women, whoever it is, that women need to know about the condition, you know. And so that's just, I think all of us have remarkable stories, and I feel like they all need to be heard, because each one is different, and then we all experience it differently, you know, like why maybe some women able to heal within a few months and why some of us can't. You know, it's like a lot of questioning going on with that, which is also why I feel like the research is mainly important right now, so we could get down to the bottom of what's exactly, you know, we're going through, so we can know exactly what we're going through. But I just thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. I'm about to actually get ready to cut this recording thing off. So.
Okay.
Thank y'all for joining in on our PPCM tonight. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't start it.